The story of a wrestler with no legs, framed as a testament to sheer determination, feels almost too perfectly constructed. It arrives pre-packaged with its moral, its easily digestible triumph over adversity. But beneath the surface of such a compelling narrative, there's always a far more intricate, often unsettling mechanism at play. What does it truly mean to be born different? Not just in body, but into a system that isn't built for difference. And what exacting price does a person pay, psychologically and physically, to redefine the very parameters of human capability, especially when the world is constantly watching, expecting, and often simplifying? Zion Clark's journey begins not merely with missing legs, but with caudal regression syndrome, a condition far more complex than its most visible manifestation. This isn't simply an absence, it's a fundamental re-engineering of the body from the spine down, often impacting neurological function, kidney development, and bowel and bladder control. It's a systemic challenge, not just a localized one, demanding a lifetime of specialized medical care, intricate management, and an acute awareness of one's own internal landscape. The statistic of 1 in every 100,000 children being born with this condition underscores an inherent isolation, a life lived on the fringes of medical understanding and societal adaptation, where blueprints for success are scarce and often have to be forged from scratch. Yet even this profound physical reality pales in comparison to another, often softened detail: 16 years in foster care. 16 years. That is not a footnote to an inspirational story. It is the central defining crucible of a young life. Imagine the relentless cycle of uncertainty, the shifting faces of temporary caregivers, the constant negotiation of new environments, new rules, new expectations, all while navigating a body that demands extraordinary care and adaptation. What does it do to a child's sense of self, to their capacity for attachment, to their fundamental trust in the world to endure such prolonged instability? The unfortunate circumstances that led him there are often left vague, allowing us to project a comfortable narrative of parental inability. But behind that euphemism lies the raw, painful reality of abandonment, perhaps born of overwhelming challenge, perhaps of something darker. To emerge from such a childhood not just functional, but driven, is a testament to an almost superhuman internal fortitude, or perhaps a desperate, primal need for control and belonging. The fantastic support system found with his now mother, Kimberlli, after 16 years, speaks volumes about the transformative power of a single, stable, loving relationship. But it also highlights the systemic failures that left him adrift for so long. What are the silent costs, the unseen scars of those formative years spent without a permanent anchor, constantly adapting, constantly proving his worth to a rotating cast of strangers? This is the hidden engine of his drive, the unspoken fuel that powers his extraordinary ambition. Then there is wrestling. Of all the sports, why choose one so intimately tied to leverage, balance, and the explosive power of the lower body? Wrestling is a brutal, honest conversation between two bodies, a constant search for advantage, a dance of weight distribution and counterforce. For Zion, it requires not just adaptation, but a complete re-engineering of the sport's fundamental principles. How do you shoot for a takedown without legs? How do you sprawl to defend one? How do you generate the explosive force needed to escape a pin? His success isn't just about being strong, it's about being a tactical genius, a biomechanical innovator, understanding the physics of human combat in a way his opponents, who rely on conventional advantages, simply cannot.
He has turned what appears to be his greatest deficit into a unique advantage, forcing opponents to grapple with an entirely unfamiliar geometry of power. This redefinition extends beyond the mat. It challenges our very assumptions about what a body should do, what normal strength looks like, and what constitutes a fair fight. Is it still a disadvantage if it forces you to develop an entirely new skill set, a different kind of strength, an unparalleled mental resilience? Or does it simply create a different set of parameters within which excellence can be forged? The human tendency is to marvel, to label him inspirational. But does that label, however well-intentioned, inadvertently reduce him to a symbol rather than acknowledge the complex, multifaceted individual beneath? The born different framing, while celebrating uniqueness, can also subtly otherize, placing him in a category apart, making his achievements seem less human and more miraculous. It risks turning his life into inspiration porn, where his struggle serves primarily to make able-bodied people feel better about their own challenges, rather than truly engaging with the depth of his experience. What truly drives Zion Clark to bid to become one of the best freestyle wrestlers in the world? Is it simply the love of the sport, or something more profound, born from those 16 years of instability? Perhaps it's a need to assert control over his own narrative, to demonstrate a power that was denied to him for so long. Perhaps it's a defiant refusal to be defined by what he lacks, choosing instead to be defined by what he does. Or perhaps it's a search for a kind of belonging, an acceptance that comes not from pity or admiration, but from the raw, undeniable meritocracy of competition, where the score is the only truth that matters. The wrestling mat, in its brutal honesty, may offer a clarity and a sense of earned self-worth that was absent in his early life. It's a place where excuses hold no weight, where every victory is undeniably his own. The psychological landscape of such a life is far more rugged than any feel-good montage can convey. There are undoubtedly moments of profound frustration, of physical pain, of the sheer mental exhaustion that comes from constantly pushing boundaries that others don't even perceive. What happens when the cameras turn away, when the cheering stops, when the weight of expectation becomes heavy? Does the pressure to continually make his mark become a burden, a relentless demand to perform resilience, even when he might simply want to be Zion, a 22-year-old, without the mantle of a living legend? His story forces us to confront uncomfortable truths, not just about physical difference, but about societal structures. It exposes the fragility of foster care, the often unacknowledged trauma of early childhood instability, and the complex ways we categorize and celebrate those who defy our expectations. It's easy to applaud the outcome, the triumphant athlete, but it is far more challenging and ultimately more illuminating to truly grapple with the arduous, often lonely journey that led to that outcome. What does it say about our society that we are so captivated by stories of overcoming, when perhaps we should be asking why so many have to overcome so much in the first place? If you find yourself reflecting on the layers of this story, on the unseen struggles and the profound psychological resilience required, perhaps it's an invitation to look beyond the immediate spectacle, to question the narratives we're given, and to seek the deeper, often messier truths that truly define what it means to be human, to be different, and to relentlessly pursue a life on one's own terms. Zion Clark's greatest legacy may not just be the medals he wins, but the enduring questions he forces us to ask about our own assumptions, our own limitations, and the true meaning of strength.